12-inch Mego Hulk. So let's check him out. Okay, so it's been a little while longer than I typically wait between videos because, you know, I had a pretty busy week and I've been doing a lot of stuff. And, you know, I was going to try to do this video yesterday, but then I had a lot of yard work I had to do and mechanical things. And so, but I'm finally getting to it today. And today we're going to take a look at the 12-inch Mego Hulk figure. I figured I'd do like a kind of a retro rewind today. So, now, obviously I do not have the packaging, you know, because, you know, this is an old figure. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, back in the day, you know, packaging got thrown away. People didn't keep it, so. And I am missing one accessory, which is his white shirt that he's supposed to have. Yeah, it never had one when I got it, so I'm missing, unfortunately, but I do have his pants there, as you can see. So, without further ado, let's get into, I guess, the details. Now, normally I'd go over accessories first, and, now, the only accessory this figure really comes with, besides the shirt that I'm missing, is his pants. And which you can't remove these, but I'm not gonna do that because it's hard to get back on. But you can see, you know, they're you know, like a pink in color and fabric, and which is kind of, you know, the comic book version, so that's why they're pink. You know, anyways, getting to the articulation, he has a swivel at the head, a swivel, and a single hinge at the elbow, which is, you know, pretty good. He's also got a ball joint there at the thigh and a bend at the knee. So pretty good articulation for, you know, 1978. So let's go over the sculpt, design, and color of this Hulk, starting with his head. So as you can see, you know, being a 12-inch figure, they're able to add a lot more details into it. And it's kind of got like a, you know, snarling Hulk expression there, as you can see. It's a, you know, green color. The hair is also like a kind of a dark green. And you know, they painted his teeth white, painted his eyeballs and stuff. So you know, pretty good head sculpt for back then. And you know, that's being an old figure. There's not a whole lot of details, and you know, the only piece of clothing he's wearing is his pants. So you know, there's not a whole lot of sculpted detail on this, but you know, just got some stuff in the back. You know, it's got a date of 1978, and as you can see, like I said, not a whole lot of details, but you can see a lot of his muscles and things like that. You know, Hulk's gotta have muscles because, you know, Hulk's pretty big. So, and you see, he also got, you know, some pretty big calf muscles there, as you can see. He's also got his feet and all the individual toenails and everything on there. So, you know, not a whole lot of details on this figure, but still, you know, pretty cool. So for comparison time, here is this, you know, 12-inch Mego Hulk compared to the smaller version from 75, I think is what that was. When that one came out, 75 or 74, I can't remember. But as you can see, it's a completely different green and everything. His hands are actually in a very similar fisted pose there, as you can see. Now this Hulk is a little bit out of scale. If I bring in Captain America over here, you know, the normal Captain America figure is actually taller than this standard Hulk right here. So, so that, you know, smaller Hulk's a little bit out of scale, but you know, this big 12-inch one kind of fixes that problem. So here he is compared to two other, you know, Mego figures I have. I have Captain America, also I have Shazam right there. You know, which these figures I have are not in the best shape. They're missing their logos, and Captain America snaps broke on the back of his clothes. And which, you know, these figures, you know, are typical to have stuff like that come apart and use their logos and stuff. So that's kind of normal. And now this Shazam figure I've got, it's actually got the wrong boots on, but these are Thor's boots. So pretty cool. You know, Thor had, you know, very unique boots. You know, most Mego figures use these generic boots like this, so that's kind of who they gave Thor unique boots. But unfortunately, I don't have Thor. He's kind of expensive. So okay, so here it is compared to some other Mego figures I have. Now there's two of them actually I don't have right here on my in the camera, because I do have the Riddler here, but as you can see, he's missing all his clothes. That's why I excluded him. He has a cracked foot there. But yeah, so since he's not got all his clothes, that's why I, you know, exempted him, and or omitted, I should say. And the Chips figures I got there, you know, I got John in the thing over here, but I do have Poncherello, but I omitted him too because, unfortunately, I can't get him to stand up because my Poncherello has a broken leg, so that's why, you know, I omitted him too. But So, you know, some general ones I got here, as you can see, that Hulk is, the smaller Hulk's out of scale of the other Mego figures. You know, he's actually shorter than those. And the chips is one of the last things Mego ever made after not taking the Star Wars license that really, you know, hurt their company. And as you can see, the chips figures, their heads are always, a lot of times, are discolored. And it's because they started using the cheaper plastic towards the end there, and that ended up, you know, causing you know, discoloration over time. But you know, if I can get my Ponchvello's leg fixed, I might review those. That'd be kind of neat. So what do I think of this figure overall? Yeah, it's a pretty cool figure. You know, like I said, being, you know, from the 70s, it didn't have a whole lot of details in it. Articulation could be better, but the articulation on this figure is actually not bad from a figure from the 70s. And you know, I do recommend, you know, these Mego figures. If you like a lot of vintage figures, these are actually pretty cool and fun toys. And some of them are kind of expensive on the aftermarket now, especially ones like Thor. Thor's always been a very expensive one, but some of these ain't too bad though. So then the only problem with these figures too is, you know, with their clothing, it's hard to find whether or not some of them ain't, you know, ripped and torn and dirty, and some of them missing, you know, like mine missing, you know, logos on their chest and stuff. So it's kind of a problem with these. But other than that, you know, still, you know, pretty fun toys to collect and you know, play with as children. You know, so if you like this video and want to see some more Mego reviews, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Till next time.